Good morning. My name is Doug Gearhart. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about becoming a born-again Christian and the journey that I went through to get there. As a young kid growing up, I was born and pretty much raised Catholic. Went through Catholic grade school, high school, ended up joining the service after high school. That was kind of a culture shock for verbiage and language, with the kind of upbringing you had in a Catholic school. I got married while I was in the service. I had 3 daughters. Raised 3 daughters Catholic, married them all off Catholic. Come home from work one night, my wife had mentioned to me that some good friends of ours that we had camped with and done tons of things with over all the years said, would you be interested in going to a Bible study? Of course, I'm going into culture shock. As a Catholic, we don't do this kind of stuff. I mean, what are you talking about? Again, we got the priest and all the things. So we sat and talked about it that evening and came to the conclusion that okay, I'm willing to go, but if I don't like it, I ain't gonna stay. So a few weeks later, when the Bible study actually started, we get there, and of course the only people we know are the 2 that we came with, the ones that we'd talked about going to it to begin with. And next thing I know, there's this fairly decent-sized guy going around giving everybody hugs. And of course, my first impression is, hey man, we don't do this at the Catholic Church, friends. So, hey, but I kind of got cornered and ended up having to give the man a hug, kind of a half-hearted hug. But I'll tell you, to this day, I'd give that man a hug anywhere. He's definitely alive for Christ. A few days later, we were discussing it and whatnot, and the other couple decided that, and I don't know because we never got into that deep detail about it, if it was just their Catholic upbringing and they weren't comfortable with it. But like I told Jan, my wife, I says, I don't know about you, but I want to go back again. So we went back the next time we had Bible study, and from that point, Jan and I made the decision that we'd go to Sunday Mass with her dad on Saturday nights, and we'd go to church where the guy was teaching Bible study, Dr. Larry Carell, and go to his church on Sundays. And after probably 4 or 5 months of this, I told Jan one Saturday as we were getting ready to go to Saturday Mass that I don't know about you, but this is a waste of time. I'm not getting anything from this. We have got to just start going to Larry's church. And again, to make a long story short, with going to Larry's church, it was probably another 4 or 5 months that during an altar call, I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. And I've been pleased with that ever since. That doesn't mean that I haven't backslidden, because I don't think there's a person out here that hasn't backslidden. But you just have to be willing to go to God and go to Christ and say, forgive me, and you know they're forgiven. And that's pretty much the heads and tails of my accepting Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. But there is something else I wanted to talk to you about as well. I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. They were going to take out part of the spleen, take out the spleen, and take out part of the pancreas. And at that point, probably 10 days in the hospital and 3 months of rehab, and I was going to be back on my road of recovery. But it ended up, there was so much of it growing inside there that the doctor just said, he spent 2 hours trying to get all the little tentacles off from the cancer. And he simply said that if he'd kept me on the table any longer, I probably wouldn't have survived. So he basically closed me up and sent me home. And I can tell you that ever since I've came home, I have had such peace about this. It almost feels like Christ is standing here or sitting here right next to me with his arms wrapped around you saying, hang on, I'm getting ready to take you home. And I just want you all to know that if you haven't accepted him, there's no way he's going to be there to take you home. Yes, that's a decision you have to make. I love every one of you out here. I thank every one of you for the cards and the prayers that you have given me. God bless.